So I would like to make it known that first, this isn't Terraria, as usual for my storytelling method. I want to try and branch out from just using Terraria as background footage, like sometime after V-Rising, maybe make it its own thing. So I'm going to be trying to just use random games like Vermintide, or Halo, or Project Wingman. Just random stuff that I'm playing at the time that I can use as background footage. Okay? Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Han Prism River, and welcome back to my storytelling method. Today we're going to be doing another case study, and this one's going to be on something a little bit, cringe. Genshin Impact. I personally am enjoying my time doing this exact thing that we're about to do, but I understand that people do not like the game. For, reasons of gotcha, anime, like nothing but fan service anime girls, da 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 da. In this particular case, though, we're going to be looking at the events, because anyone who's played the game for long enough will have probably noticed that 1 out of 3 of the events per banner usually end up having some sort of story significance. They actually have a plot to them. For instance, most recently, we had to do the whole weaving clairvoyance thing. And in the end, we learned that an area we've only heard about at the beginning of the game is in the northern part of Natlan. Or was. And, by extension as well, during the Sumeru storyline, there was an event that had us doing a treasure hunt of sorts in Mondstadt, which ended up leading us to a meeting place of a group known as the Hexenzirkel. A coven of witches with absolutely extraordinary powers that could probably change the world if they were pushed to do so. But today, we're going to be examining the 3 summer events, because it's a cyclical thing. There will always be a summer event during the July to August period, I want to say, and from there will seem now to introduce something for either the next region or just in general for the storyline. So, starting this, the Midsummer Island Adventure. I did an entire video on this way back when it ended. So, 2021, I did a video. It starts with Little Klee trying to respond to a letter, a very vaguely threatening letter, against her own stuffed animal, Dodoko. Jean, being the responsible stepmom, and Barbara, her sister, end up tagging along with us to a previously unexplored, or mostly unexplored, region of the ocean known as the Golden Apple Archipelago. It ends with us ending up at the final bubble protecting something, dispelling it, and finding beach chairs and umbrellas themed after Klee's stuffed animal, and a recording on a gramophone left by someone claiming to be Alice, her mother. Gramophones don't normally exist in this world, for one. And she even acknowledges that by saying that she got this design from another world and calling us out for doing very much the same thing previously. Now, this is stale knowledge, what I'm about to say. Alice is a member of the Hexenzirkel and a world hopper much like us. She's a travel guide and explorer. Now, at the time, this was massive news. We hadn't heard about Descenders, we hadn't heard about anything. But now, again, it's old news. We've known about other members of the Hexenzirkel for at least a good little bit. So, this was the initial revelation of that. Building upon the Hexenzirkel even, I think the only other time they're mentioned is... well, no, that's a lie. The time they're mentioned most is that scavenger hunt I think I mentioned before. The next summer event, however, is the Midsummer Fantasia, I believe. This is the one that I made a minor joke video and updated my channel to be weekly uploads from now on. Genshin Impact truly is a history of my channel. It's a shock that OBS no longer wants to record it. The Midsummer Fantasia has us and 4 characters: Kazuha, Shinyan, Mona, and Fischl, go to the Golden Apple Archipelago, where we find 2 things. First, a machine by the Fatui, who had found the area and decided to use it for testing, and 2, that the day after we find that, every single island has been changed into a different appearance from what it was, seemingly to fit each individual character's, well, seeming just to fit them. Fischl's island is full of ravens and is all about playwriting. Holy shit. It ends with us finally going through every island and then finally turning off that machine once and for all. The Fatui in charge of it, we sent home. Together. Because they're all good friends. Look, they are Zangief. They may be bad guys, but they are not bad guys. And it ends, and on the final day there, we end up getting called away a little bit by a voice that ends up being a Dendro sigil telling us basically a synopsis of what happened. That these were all manifestations of dreams and that they'll be expecting us in Sumeru. We just spoke of the Dendro Archon. Again, revelation of the time, but this is the first of 2 events that ties directly into the upcoming story. For one, again, we know we're going to Sumeru, so the fact that we are speaking with its Archon so soon is just a shock. Because, I mean, Venti and Zhongli never, came out to meet us. The second thing, though, is an association to dreams. Not only did the Dendro Archon seem to know that everything here was a manifestation of dreams, but the fact that the summer event focused on dreams so much itself. That alone is just shocking, and my personal pet theory is that the machine itself is a prototype of the one that caused the Samsara cycle in Act 2 of the Sumeru storyline. I mean, it seems to make sense. It's a manifestation of dreams, or it's a dream machine of some sort, I should say. Though I'm not really sure. And to be fair, it could not be. But my own personal pet theory. It is from here that I began to stop giving a shit about the summer events. So, if my accounting of them is very poor, please, forgive me. I stopped caring, because trying to get every single Primo Gem out of a limited time area is absolutely abysmal. I don't remember what the 3rd event is called, but it has us going into the Sumeru Desert in order to do something. And we end up finding a lamp there, and getting sucked in. On the inside is an entire world filled with water droplets and sparse humans with blue hair. The main one, the caretaker, asks us to help repair the mechanism to keep the world going, and we just go around meeting the other inhabitants, mainly, completing their objectives. By the end, we end up revealing that the main caretaker is in fact an Oceanid, and that all the other humans we met were just water droplets given human form by her. The big reveal here of her being an Oceanid is the 2nd summer event, and only our one at the current moment, related to the main storyline, with how all humans in Fontaine are Oceanids. We learned, if anyone's... Why are you here if you're going to be shocked about a spoiler? You're coming here because you're here for me to explain the relevance of the events, as well as just a general breakdown of how it works, and why it works, tying into the main stuff. But yeah, no, a human Oceanid reveal was also just to sort of test the waters with that. Make sure that we were ready for the reveal in the end. That also said, this could be Cope, because I don't entirely remember that one. The last one, though, Simulanka, I think, is the most interesting by far, because it has us ending up inside a storybook. Quickly into it, we find that the world of the storybook has 3 goddesses, the first of which is Alice. Ladies and gentlemen, we just got pulled back into the scheme of a Hexencircle. Well, we end up following the story Alice has pre-planned for us, with chasing down an quote-unquote evil dragon, meeting some familiar faces, taking the roles of the king, a fairy, and I honestly don't remember what Wanderer was. Was he the hero? We were supposed to be the hero too, weren't we? I don't know. Again, this shit's weird. But it ends with us ending up confronting the dragon and the Wanderer being a major force in talking him down. Because Scaramouche, the Wanderer, is sympathetic to the dragon's plight of being monstrous. Despite the fact that the dragon kept saying, stay away, get out of here, blah blah blah. Pushing people away because it can't handle being around people, mostly due to just its size and purely destructive form. Thanks, Rhine's daughter. More on her in a second. We end up going to last shrine of the shrine of the last goddess, which was the story's creator, and we find that this member of the Hexencircle, who is now deceased, Anders' daughter, felt bad for Durin and wanted Alice and Mona's teacher's help in creating a simulation to see if his fate could be changed. We learn, because of this event, that yes, it can. Neat. And in the postscript, after Wanderer has helped the big dragon take a smaller and cuter form, we also learn, in a conversation with Albedo, that Durin, the dragon corpse on the dragon spine, is reviving. Wait, what? The dragon corpse is reviving. Okay, we need to talk about this. So, that is a pretty major reveal for just a summer event, and honestly the main reason I want to make this video in general. They are hinting at something that will probably not come until just after the events in Snezhnaya happen. And it's my own personal theory that this is going to be a second cataclysm. I mean, we've already had a major abyss incursion in Natlan. Fontaine is still probably recovering and is godless outside of, Mr. Springwater himself. Liyue had the reveal of the labyrinth underneath the chasm. There we go. I have no clue about Inazuma, although it's no hazard to guess that something's going to happen involving the Vishaps and Enkanomiya. And Mondstadt's fate, of course, is the revival of Durin. However, the storybook proves something. That things will be different this time. That there are people and places that are important to actually changing how things went from 500 years ago. Durin, this time, might just end up exiling himself instead, trying to find a nice, peaceful place. Or they could find a way to coexist with humans. It's not going to end with his death this time. And if Hoyoverse decides to do that anyways, then, why the fuck have the summer event and hint that something could change? That makes no sense from a story writing perspective. You gave us Chekhov's gun and then didn't fire it. But yeah, no, as far as this goes, please, whenever you get an event in a game that has actual dialogue and story to it, think critically about how it fits into the overall game narrative or game world, be it world building, such as the Marriage of Ari being in Northern Atlan, or from the summer event dictating what a future story beat might be. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Ham Prism River. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Skulls for the Golden Throne!